Once again, I'm very glad to see you all in this session. In today's sessions, we are going to learn about variables and operators used in C programming language. Let us move on to the session now. First, let us learn about variables in C. Variables in C language plays an important role. We can also say that variables are the backbone of many programming languages. Variables in C languages are used to store different forms of data. It acts as a memory card where it saves all the data and used it during program execution. There are different types of variable in C. According to their types, the amount of memory or storage space it requires differs. As we said, variables in C are storage used to hold the value. Data that variables can be different like int, float, char, double, etc. All the code or program depends on the variable as it describes the type of data for executions. In this session, we are going to see how variables plays an important role in C, how to initialize variables, how to declare variables, and what are the types of variables and how we are going to work with the variables. Here we are going to learn the rules for creating valid variables in C programming language. The first rule, variables in C must not start with the number, else the variable will not be valid. For example, so we cannot start the variable by initiating the first letter is a number. Rule number 2, blank space and other symbols cannot be used to create a variable. Rule number 3, keywords are not allowed to define as a variable. Rule number 4, C is a case sensitive language, so upper and lower cases are considered as a different variable. Rule number 5, variable names can be a combination of strings, digits and special characters like underscore. In C programming, all variables that are used in the program must be declared at first in variable declaration sections. So here we have given syntax for declaring a variable. The syntax is data type space variable name and should be end with a semicolon. So more than one variable can also be declared in a single statement by using comma as a separator. So now the explanations for the syntax. So data type, it indicates types of data it stores. So it can be int, float, character, double, long int, etc. Variable name, it indicates the name of the variable. It can be anything other than the keywords. So based on this, we have given you an example here. So int d. So here int is a data type and d is a variable. The next one is a float a comma b. As I told you that more than one variable can be declared in a single statement. So here a is one variable and b is one variable. So here we have declared two variables in a single statement by using comma as a separator. So float space a comma b semicolon. The next one is a double. Double is a data type and f is a variable. It should be n with a semicolon. The next variable is a character ch. So ch is a variable and char is a data type. So likewise you can use this syntax to declare a variables. So first in a simple we can say that so whatever variables we are using in the program must be declared before using in the program. So you must give the compiler some informations about the variables what you are going to be used inside the program. In this slide we had given an example to illustrate the declaration of variable in C. Here we have used two header files in the name of stdio.h and gonio.h. followed by that we have used a statement called int main of functions. So this is an entry point of your C program. Followed by that you have to open the flower bracket, and the next statement is int m comma n. So this is the statement. It tells the compiler that so there are two variables in the name m comma n is going to be used in the C programs in the form of integer data type. The next statement m equal to 2 and n equal to 3 denotes that we have initialized the value of 2 and 3 for a variable m and n. The next statement z is equal to m plus n. We are adding the value of 2 plus 3 and we are trying to store the result in the variable z. And the next statement printf statement. So here we are trying to display the result in the monitor. And finally you have to end with an return off statement as it denotes that this main function is going to return nothing. So finally, to terminate the program you have to close the flower bracket. In this slide we are going to see how to initialize values to the variable. Initializing variables in C means allocating values to variables directly while declaring it. Variables may be given initial value or initialized when declared. Initializing variable in means, as I told, that it allocates values to variables directly while declaring it. So this is an syntax for initializing variables. So syntax is data type space variable name equal to value, and the statement should be end with an semicolons. So here we had given you 3 examples to explain how to initialize values to the variables. So the first example is int length equal to 7. So here we have created a variable in the name of length of type integer which initialize the value 7 to the length variable. So likewise we have declared a variable diameter in the type of float. So while declaring itself we have initialized the value 5.9 to the variable diameter. So likewise again there is a variable in character type. Now this variable initial has an value a while declaring the variable. So this is how you can initialize values to a variable when you are declaring it. So both declaration and initialization has done in a single statement using a syntax called data type space variable name equal to value. You got it? This slide narrates the way of writing a statement in the declaration sections. As we have seen earlier that more than one variable can be declared in a single statement, and also we have seen that during a declaration itself we can able to initialize the values. Suppose if you club initializations and more than one variable declarations in the single statements will leads to confusions. So in order to avoid that confusions, we always have an habit of writing declarations and initialized variables on a separate line. And it also a good idea to use a command while you are writing a program. So under the command sections we can also say that so what is the purpose of using this variable in your program. So it leads to an easy understandable by seeing your programs. So this slide narrates the way of writing a statement in the declaration sections. In this slide it shows how the memory space is allotted in RAM for our defining variables. Once if we tells the compiler that we are going to use a variables a and b in our program, the compiler will automatically reserves a memory space for a variable which we declared. Suppose if we want to identify the students from where she came, we must know the address. So likewise, in order to identify the locations of a variable a and b, we must know the address of our memory locations. So here thousands represents the address locations of a variable, and a equal to 10, it means that the value of a is 10. So variable a ஓட address பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 1000, a ஓட value என்னன்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 10. Suppose if I am identify what is there in the address locations thousands, the value of 10 will be stored in the memory locations. Got it? Here we are going to see the use of assignment operator in assignment statement. So in before slides we have told that the value can be initialized to an variables. So if you want to do this, we need to take a help of an operator called assignment operator, which is denoted as an equal to symbols. Here this equal does not denote an equalities. So here the equal symbol is used to assign the value of right hand side of the statement to an variable on the left hand side. So for example, so diameter equal to 5.9. So the right hand side value 5.9 is assigned to the variable which is there in the left hand side in the name of diameters. So here this equal to is used to assign the value which is there in the right hand side to the left hand side. So here equal to does not mean that equality. The value is equal to this value. So it does not mean that equalities. The second example is area equal to length into width. So here we are trying to multiply the value of length and width, and then the result is stored under the variable area with the help of an equal to symbols. So here the equal to is nothing but an assignment operator which helps you to assign the value of right hand side to the left hand side of the variables. Note that only single variables may appear on the left hand side of the assignment operator. So in this slide we had given you an example how to use declarations and assignments statement in C programming language. So first, as usual, we will be using an header file, and followed that we will be using a main of functions, and program will be initiated by opening the flower bracket. The first statement should be of a declaration statement. So here we have declared and three variables of integer data type. The variable is inches, feet and fathoms. Okay, so once the compiler knows that these are all the variables that is going to be used in the program, simultaneously it allocated memory space in the name of inches, feet and fathoms. So you can see in the diagram that under the name of inches in the locations there we denoted the garbage. So once if the space is allocated in the memory, so it may have any kinds of values in the memory spaces. Okay, so that is denoted as an garbage. You know, like garbage means like wasted. So far we have seen What is variable, how to declare and use the variables in C programming language. Now we are going to see about types of variables that are available in C programming language. So totally there are 5 different variables that are used in C programming language. They are local variables, global variables, static variables, automatic variables and external variables. So we can, in forthcoming slide, we can see each and every variables in detailed manner with an example. Local variables. Variables that are declared inside the function are called as local variables. So local variables must be declared before we use it in the program. So only local functions can change the value of the variables. It means that the lifetime of the variables will be within the block. Outside of the block, we cannot able to access the value of the variables. So those variables will be called as an local variables. For example, so int main, within the block of main functions we have declared int m equal to 10. So outside of the closing brackets we cannot able to access what is there in the value of m, because the lifetime of the variable within that open and close bracket. So those kind of variable will be called as an local variable. Global variables. Variables that are declared outside the functions are called global variables. Any functions can change the value of the variables. So if the variable is declared outside of the main functions. So here in the example you can see that outside of the main function we have declared the variable int n equal to 6. So the lifetime of the variables can be accessed throughout the program. You can able to access the value n inside the main function also. But the same time we cannot able to access the value m outside of the main function. So here m will be called as a local variables because the lifetime is within the open and close bracket. But the value which is declared, the variable which is declared outside of the main function n can be accessed within the main functions also. So now those variables will be called as in global variables. Next one is static variables. Static variable retain its value within the function calls. Static keyword is used to define a static variable. A static variable can preserve its value and you cannot initialize the static variable again and again. So here you can see an example. So within the int main block, so we have declared int m equal to 10. So this will be called as a local variables. If the variable is declared with a keyword called static, will be called as a static variable. So here we have declared a variable n with a keyword called static int n equal to 6. So here the n will be called as a static variables. So you cannot initialize this static variable again and again. So wherever you verify what is there in the value of n, it preserves its value and it says the value of 6 is stored in the variable n. So now those kind of variable will be called as static variables. Automatic variables. Variables that are declared inside the function or default considered as an automatic variables. So whatever variables which is declared inside the functions will be called as an automatic variables, and you can also declare using the keyword called auto. So if the variable which is declared using a keyword called auto is also called as an automatic variables, and by default what are all the variables you have declared within the block will also be called as an considered as an automatic variables. So it allocates memory upon the entry to that block and frees the occupied space when the control exits from the block. So once it encounters that is an automatic variables, when the flower bracket is opens, it allocates the memory for the particular variables. Once it encounters the close bracket, automatically the space which is allocated for the variable in the memory will be erased and it will be used for the some other purpose. So those kind of variables will be called as an automatic variables. Here we are discussing about symbolic constant in C. A symbolic constant is a name which will be given to some numeric values or character constant, or it can be of string constant. So those names will be called as a constant identifier. In order to define the symbolic constants, we will be using an preprocessor directive, that is a predefined keyword called has define. So now this has defined should be defined at the beginning of the program, that is before the main statement. You have to define what are all the variables should be considered as a constant and what is the value we need to assign for that constant variables. So in order to define the symbolic constants, the syntax is has defined symbolic constant name space value of the constant. Has defined space symbolic constant name space value of the constant. So symbolic has defined is a keyword and symbolic constant name is a normal variables which is going to be act as a constant variable name. And next one is a value of the constants. What is the value you want to be fixed for that particular value will be defined here. Okay. So and note that usually the symbolic constant variable name will always be written using an uppercase letters. It is not required and it is not mandatory, but it will be helpful for us to identify which is a symbolic constant variable and which is a normal variable. In order to make up the difference, they used to write the symbolic constant in the uppercase letters. Okay, so here for example, here we have given has defined pi 3.141592. So wherever you are using the pi variable in your program, automatically the value 3.141 will be substituted in the name of the variable pi. So in order to fix the value for the particular variable throughout the program, so they will be using the symbolic constants. Okay, so as per this example, here we have used three symbolic constants, that is pi, golden ratio and size, and this three statement will be defined before the main statement, main function statement. Okay, got it? Now let's move on to the next topic is an operators. So operators are symbols that help in performing operations of mathematical and logical nature. The classification of C operators are as follows. They are arithmetic, relational, logical, bitwise, assignment, conditional and special operators. So in forthcoming slides, we will see each operators in detailed manner. Before we getting into an operator in detail, let us see what is operators, operand and expression. Operators are those symbols that perform some specific task. Suppose when we want to add two numbers, we generally use plus sign. In programming also, to perform some specific task, compiler has assigned some specific symbols. Now these symbols are called an operators. Now what is operand? So the data items that operators act upon are called operands. Some operators require one operand to act upon, whereas some require more than one. For example, if there is a statement called A plus B, here plus is an operators and then the item A and B where the operator is going to be work, and those items called operands. For example, A and B are operands. Now what is expression? An expression is a combination of operands and operators written according to the syntax of a language. Okay. In this slide, we had given an example for identify operands, operator and expressions. So here we have written a statement called y equal to a plus b. Here plus denotes an operator, a, b and y denotes an operand, whereas the statement y equal to a plus b, which used operand and as well as an operator and form a sentence, is called an expressions. So as we told that expression is a combination of operand and operators. So that is called an expression. So here operator is a symbol. Operand means that the operator going to be work on some data will be called as an operand. Expression is nothing but if you combine operand and as well as operator and return a statement is called as an expression. So here y equal to a plus b is an expressions. Got it? The first one is an unary operators in C programming. So C programming includes a class of operators that act upon a single operand to produce a new value. Such operators are known as unary operators. So these operators require only one operand to give a result. Now those operators will be called as an unary operators. So unary operators usually precede their single operand, though some unary operators are written after their operand. For example, so if you consider minus is an unary operators, I can write n minus a or a minus. Okay. So here the operators which requires only one operand to give away the result. So those operators will be called as an unary operators. Now see what are all called as an unary operators in detail. Okay. First one is an unary minus. The most common unary operator is unary minus, where a numerical constant variable or expression is preceded by a minus sign. For example, if you have written a number with the help of minus sign to represent a negative values, it will be called as an unary minus. So minus 23.4 or minus 34, etc. So now this symbol is called as an unary minus. It just represent this is a minus sign. Okay. The next one is an increment operators. So here usually the increment operator is written by two plus symbols. Plus plus will be denoted by an increment operators. So now what is the use of increment operator? The increment operator causes its operand to be incremented by 1. So it increases the value by 1. So that is the purpose of an increment operators. So this operators can be used in two ways. One is post increment and another one is in pre increment. So post increment is, for example, if you have written you have a statement called a equal to 2, then after that if you have written a plus plus, now what will be the result of after executing the statement a plus plus? The a value will be increment by 1. That is after seeing the result of a plus plus, the a will store the value is 3. So that is what post increment. So likewise, when you are using an increment operator, there is a decrement operator. So for increment, you will be using plus plus symbol. For decrement, you will be using minus minus symbols. So for increment, it will increase by 1. The value get increased by 1. So likewise, when you are using a decrement operators, the value is decreased by 1. So like what you see in increment operators, decrement operators also can be used in two ways, post decrement and pre decrements. Okay. The next operator is in size of operator. Size of operator. So size of is nothing but it is a keyword, that is a reserved keyword that is used in C programming language, which is used to find the size which is occupied by the different data types in memory. For example, if you want to know what is the size of an integer values, what is the size of the float values, you can make use of this size of keyword to identify how many bytes has been allotted to store and variables which comes under the data types. For example, size of int. So what will be the result of the size of int? Means it shows the value is 2 because integer always takes 2 bytes to store the value. So the value will be of 2. The same size of keyword if you use to identify for float, for example float x, if you apply size of x, automatically the value gives us 4 because the float takes 4 bytes to store the variables. Okay, so size of is a keyword which is used to identify so how much memory space has been occupied for the different types of data. The last operator which comes under the unary operator is a logical NOT. So you know what is the meaning of NOT. It is going to give the reverse meaning of an condition. So this operator reverse the meaning of an conditions. For example, if you want to find out not false means it gives the value as true. Not true means obviously it is going to give the value as in false. So 0 means it will give the value as 1. If you are finding out what is not 1 means the value will be given as 0. So that is the use of not operators. Now let's move on to the binary operators in C programming language. Binary operators is going to be act upon a 2 operand to produce a new value. So if you want to operate binary operators, at least you need 2 variables to produce a result. So those operators will be called as an binary operators. Okay, now these operators can be classified into different categories. So we are going to see each categories detailed in the next slide. Now let's see what is the syntax for the binary operators. So syntax for binary operator is, so in order to use this operator, at least we need 2 operand to give a result. So operand 1, operator, operand 2. For example, if you want to add, if you want to perform an additions, at least you need 2 values. Now this kind of operator is called as an binary operators. The first operator comes under the binary is an arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators are the operators used to perform the arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, divisions and modulo operations. So different arithmetic operators available in C programming languages are given in the table format. So I think I don't want to explain this in detailed manner. As you know, like plus means additions, it will add 2 values and is going to give the result. So subtractions, it is going to do it is going to perform minus between 2 variables, and multiplications, it is going to multiply 2 values. Division, it is going to divide values and it will be given the result. The result might be comes under the integer or real. The last one is an modulo operators. Usually they used to call this is an percentage, but in computer terms it will be called as an modulus operators. So when you are using in divisions, you will get in quotient values. Suppose if you want to pick up the remainder value from the divisions, then you have to use in modulo. So yeah, so this will be called as an remainder operator, or you can also call it as an modulo operators. Okay, now arithmetic operators, except this modulus operator, the arithmetic operators can be used in 3 modes. Mode is nothing but integer, real and mixed. So integer is nothing but where both operands are integers. So whatever variables values you are going to give, everything will be comes under the whole numbers. So those will be called as an integer mode. For example, if you are giving 5 plus 10, now 5 is an integer and 10 is an integer, obviously you will be getting like 15. So that is also comes under the integer mode. Now what is the real mode? Where both operands are real. Real means what? It will be having a decimal point of values. For example, I can give like 5.5 plus 10.5. So you will be getting the result is also in the point value. So those comes under the real. Then mixed mode. Mixed mode is nothing but one operand will be an integer and another operand will be an real. For example, I can give like 5 plus 10.5. So 5 is an integer and 10.5 is an real values, that is floating values. Now this can also be applicable when you are performing an arithmetic operators. But when you are talking about a modulus operator will be work on only the integer mode, not in real and mixed mode. Okay, So note the point, that is the result is always a floating number for real and mixed mode. So if suppose if you are applying integer, if you are applying an arithmetic operator under the real mode or mixed mode, the result will be always comes under the decimal point. You will not get an integer values. Okay. But when you talk about an integer mode, always you will get the result as an integer numbers. Got it? The next operator is an relational operators. So these operators is very helpful for making and decisions. So depending upon the conditions, it returns either the value is 0 or 1. When the condition with this operator is true, automatically it returns the value as 1. If the condition is failed, then automatically it returns in 0. So this operator is very helpful for making a decision in programming language. So different relational operators are available in C programming. So everything has been listed in the table format for you. So as you know, like the symbol less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, and not equal to. So this is like most of how we were used in normal mathematical calculations. So that is has been given here also. Just go through the tables given here. The next operator is an logical operators. Now these operators are generally used along with relational operators. So whenever you are so logical operators will always dependent on the relational operators. Okay. So like relational operators, output of these operators will be either true or false. True means it returns 1, false means it returns the value is 0. So different logical operators are also available in C programming language. That is also given in the table format for you. So usually the logical AND is represented by using a 2 ampersand symbol, or is represent 2 parallel symbol, and logical NOT is returned as a tilde symbols, not symbol, exclamatory symbols. Okay. So as you know, like the truth table for and or, if both the condition is false, that is 0 and 0 means you will get an 0, 0 and 1 means you will get an 0. So like a multiplication, so 1 into 1 you will get the result is 1, or else 1 with the combinations of any one 0 you will get an zeros. Okay. So likewise in if you are talking about an logical OR, the rule will be, so any one is true, then automatically the result will be of true. If both the condition is false only, you will get the false result. So what about the logical NOT means? If the condition is false, the result will be true. If the result is true, the condition will be false. That is just like opposite. You will get an opposite result. Okay. So that is then logical operators. The next one is an assignment operators. Assignment operators are used when the value is to be assigned to an identifier, that is an a variables. This assignment operators we have been seen when you are talking about an variables, so how we are using an variables. So there itself we have seen what is an assignment operators, but still we will be seeing once again here. So with execution of this assignment operators, obviously the value at the right hand side will be assigned to the left hand side of the variables. So automatically once the value is assigned from the right to and left, whatever value that is stored earlierly in that variables will be replaced by the new values. So you cannot be able to get an old values, because the new value has been overridden the old values. So it means that the previous values it will be lost. Suppose if you want that previous values, you may require that previous values in some other situations, you have to save that values in some other variables before you are using this assignment operators. Okay. So different assignment operators available in C programming language is also given in the table format. So equal to, so obviously x is equal to 2 means, so here the 2 value which is placed in the right hand side is going to be assigned in the variable x which is placed in the left hand side. So this is the use of an assignment operators. The same times if you use the assignment operator with plus symbol means, it's perform assignment and as well as an additions. So both can be done here, additions plus an assignments. Okay, suppose if you have written a plus is equal to b, which is equal to a plus b. So this is a shortcut method of using this assignment operators and addition and assignment operators. So likewise, if you use minus equal to means, so it does both subtraction and as well as an assignment. So it does subtractions. So the result of the subtractions will be assigned to the left hand side. So likewise, you can make use of a multiplication and with an assignment, division with assignment, and as well as an modulo with an assignment operators. The next one is in bitwise operators. The bitwise operators or the bit manipulation operators. So if you want to manipulate the number of bits, then you will be using this bitwise operators. So it will manipulate in individual bits. So here also different bitwise operator is available, that is bitwise AND, bitwise OR, bitwise XOR, bitwise shift left and bitwise shift right. So here we have listed out the symbols. So if you want complement, you will be using a tilde symbol. Bitwise AND you have to use a single ampersand. Suppose if you are using an logical AND, you have to use double, but bitwise AND you have to use a single ampersand. So likewise OR also single parallel line use பண்ணீங்கன்னா that is an bitwise OR. If it is double use பண்ணீங்கன்னா that is an logical OR. And bitwise XOR க்கு cap symbol use பண்ணுவீங்க. Then bitwise shift left and bitwise and right shift. So these are all the bitwise manipulation. So it manipulate the bits, individual bits. So it is called as an bitwise operators. The next one is an ternary or conditional operator. So this is an last operators in C programming language. In C programming, if you want to make a simple decision making statements, so if you want to write a statement within simple decision making, so you can make use of these conditional operators. So for this conditional operators or ternary operators, you will be using an symbol question mark and as well as an colon. Now this operator is also known as I've told, that conditional operators. So it takes 3 operands. So it is called as a ternary operators. So to work this operators, you need at least 3 operands. So it is called as a ternary operator. So you know the syntax for conditional operator is condition, question mark, true expression, colon, false expression. So here condition is 1 operand, true expression is 2nd operand, false expression is 3rd operand. So to work this conditional operators, you need 2 operator with 3 operand. So it is called as an ternary operators. This diagram represents the working principles of ternary or conditional operators. In conditional operator, first condition is evaluated to check whether the condition is true or false. If the result of condition is true, then whatever expressions we have given in the true expression section will get executed. Suppose if the result of the condition is false, whatever expressions we have given under the false expressions will get executed. Therefore, the result of conditional operator is the result of whichever expression is evaluated. Either you will get the result from the true expression section, or either we will get the results from the false expression section. So depends upon the conditions, it at least any one of the expressions will get evaluated and we will be getting the result. Only one of the expressions will get evaluated in the conditional operators, not both. So either it gives true as a result, true expression as a result, or either it gives false, not both at the same times. Okay, now this thing has been illustrated in the form of flowchart for you. In this slide, we have given you a simple example by implementing this conditional or ternary operators. So in examples, so here also we have used 2 header files, that is stdio.h and conio.h, and followed by that always the program will initiate with the help of main functions, and after main you have to open the flat bracket. So here we have declared 2 variables under the float data type. So here x and y is a variable is declared under the float data type. Next one is an clear screen, that we will see in latest. Clear screen is nothing but if you want to clear the monitor and keep it blank, so you'll be using this clear screen. Okay, the next statement is printf. Printf is nothing but whatever informations you want to be displayed on the monitors will be you will be given under the printf statement. So here we have given enter x. It means that we want to enter the value for an x variables. So scanf statement is nothing but, so it will ask from the user to input a value for the x variable. So printf is an output statement, scanf is an input statement. printf அந்த printfல என்ன வேல்யூ கொடுத்துருக்கோமோ அது மானிட்டரில் டிஸ்பிளே பண்ணும். scanf வந்து நம்ம மானிட்டரில் என்ன வேல்யூ டைப் பண்ணுறோமோ அதை வந்து எடுத்துக்கிட்டு ப்ராசஸ் பண்ணும். ஸோ தட் இஸ் த டிஃப்ரென்ஸ் பிட்வீன் printf and scanf. You can also simply say that printf is an output statement, scanf is an input statement. Okay. The next statement, we have implemented this ternary and conditional operator. So the expression is like y is equal to x is less than 0. So if x is the value which we given for x, if it is less than is 0. So if this condition is true, it will execute x into x plus 4. Suppose if the condition is false, then x into x minus 4 expressions will get executed. So the x is less than 0 is a condition. So based on the conditions, if the condition is true, the first expressions will get executed and it will give you a result. If the condition is false, the second expression, that is x into x minus 4, will get executed and it will give you the result. Okay. So finally you are trying to display what is there in the value f. Okay. And finally you just close the floor bracket. So you will terminate the program. Okay. So now after compiling this program, when you try to execute, so it will ask you to enter the value of x, because we have given printf statement enter x, and then we have given scanf statement. It means that we need to enter some values. Okay. So when it executed, when you type the value for an x, so it will process the expressions and it will produce the result. Okay. So here we have given two types of an outputs. So first time when you give x is equal to 1.2, the result will be minus 2.56. Second time when you are typing when x is equal to minus 0.5, the result will be 4.25. Okay. So now how the program gets executed and the result is displayed as above. So whenever the user enters the value of x is equal to 1.2, first it checks the conditions. X is less than 0. So here x is equal to 1.2. So it checks 1.2 is less than 0. Automatically the condition is false, because 1.2 is obviously greater than 0. So the condition is false. Now what it does means, since the condition is false, it directly move on to the expression, false expression, that is x into x minus 4. So now this expression it get executed and finally it produces a result. So it applies like 1.2 into 1.2 minus 4. So obviously we will get an result in the negative values, that is minus 2.56. Now this result is assigned in the variable in the left hand side, that is y. So finally it displays the value what is there in y. So we are getting the result as minus 2.56. So similarly when you move on to the second output, that is run 2, when you are entering the value for x is minus 0.5, again the condition is checks. So x is minus 0.5 is less than 0. Yes, it is less than 0 because we have given 0.5 minus 0.5, so obviously it is less than 0. So now the condition is true. Now whatever expressions we have given in the true expression, that will get evaluated. So here in true expressions we have given x into x plus 4. Now this expression is evaluated and it gives you a result as 4.25. Now this result is assigned to the variable which is in the left hand side, that is y. Then what is there in y will be displayed as an output, and finally we are getting the result is 4.25. So on the whole, so first it checks the conditions. So based on the condition result, either it execute the true expressions or false expressions, and finally it produce the result. So in a single statement you can able to find out you can able to check the conditions, and based on the conditions you can able to find out the decisions whether you want to follow the true or whether you want to follow the false. So this is what a simple decision making statement. So that is done with the help of this ternary operators. Got it? Finally we came to the last topic, that is an operator precedence and associatives. Let us see what is operator precedence and operator associative. Okay, so operator precedence is nothing but it describes the order in which the expression is evaluated. When you are applying different operators in single expressions, which operator has to be executed first. So now that will be decided based on this operator precedence. Okay, so in simply we can say that operator precedence tells us the execution order of different operators. So this precedence level of the different operator is given in the table format for your reference in the last slide. You just go through it. Okay, suppose if we have an expression like y equal to 10 plus 5 into 20, which happens first? Which operator has to be executed first? Whether you want to perform addition, that is 10 plus 5 first, or 5 into 20 first. Okay, so which operator has to be executed first? Now this will be finalized based on this operator precedence rules. Okay, so from the based on this operator precedence, so always multiplications goes first and then goes addition. So always multiplications has a higher priority compared to an additions. So based on that precedence rules, first the multiplications will get executed. The result of the multiplication is then add with an additions, and finally it will produce a result. So first it executes 5 into 20. So obviously you will get 100. Now 100 will be added by 10. Then finally you will get the result is 110 in the y variable. So this is what operator precedence. The next we talk about an operator associative. Operator associative, it describes the order of execution of operators when they have same level of precedence. Okay, so same level of precedence means sometimes more than one operators will have the same priorities. So if more than one operator is having the same priorities, which operator has to be executed first? Suppose if there is an operator like higher and lower priority, obviously we will give an options for the higher priority to execute first. Suppose there is a situation like two operator is also comes under the higher priorities, then which operator has to be executed first? Now this will be decided based on this operator associative. So operator associative is applies when the more than one operator is have the same level of priorities. Okay, but operator precedent is applies when you have higher and lower when you have higher and lower priorities. Based on that it will get executed. Operator associative is applied when more than one operator is having the same priorities. Okay, so in that cases, for example, if you have an expression like y equal to 12 into 20 divided by 5, so as here we have used an operator like multiplications and divisions. When you compare this multiplications and divisions, both have a higher priority in C programming language. So when this both has higher priority, which has to be executed first? Whether 12 into 20 first or 20 divided by 5 first? So which happens first, multiplications or divisions? Now this operator associative came to an point. So associative has been associative has been decided based on their rule like left to right or right to left associative rules. So based on that the operator will get executed. Now these rules also given in the table in the next slide, you just go through it. So based on that table, always multiplication is done before and divisions, because multiplications and divisions both have the same priority, but the rule is like they have to execute in the left to right manner. So left to right means first, in the left positions the multiplications comes first, so it does multiplication first and then the result of the multiplications will go for divisions and finally you will get a result. So now the expressions, it starts evaluated from the left hand side. So first multiplications and then it goes for divisions. So associative is used only when operators are of same precedence need to be evaluated. ரெண்டு ஆப்ரேட்டருமே ஒரே லெவலில் இருக்கிறப்ப எந்த ஆப்ரேட்டர் வந்து ஃபஸ்ட்டு எக்ஸிக்யூட் ஆகணும், ஸோ அதை வந்து டிசைட் பண்ணுறது associative. Okay, so that's all about the precedence and associative. In this slide we have given the precedence and associative rule for all the operators that is available in this C programming language. So here the precedence is given. So 1 is goes for higher priority and 10 is go for the lowermost priorities. And associative here given left to right, right to left means left to right means it start executes from the left side operations to the right. Suppose if the associative rule is right to left means it start executed from the back to the first. So this is an table where it gives the precedence and associative of all the operators available in C programming language. So summary of this session. So in this sessions we have learned what is variables and how to declare variables, and the syntax for declaring variables, and how to initialize the values to an variables using an assignment operators, and what are all the rules to create and validate variables. The next topic is an operator. So in operators we have seen what is operators and what are the categories of operators that are available in C programming language, and we have seen each operators in detailed manner along with an examples. And last we have seen what is then precedence and associative of operators that is available in C programming language. I think I have cleared this variables and operators somehow in detailed manners. So if you have any doubts in these sessions, you can post your queries in the Google Classrooms or in WhatsApp group, and the materials will be given in the shared in the Google Classroom. So thank you students, thank you for your patient listening in these sessions. Thank you.